Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel, where real love stories in Korean entertainment come to life. If you thought K-dramas were emotional, just wait until you hear what today's video is all about. We're diving into a moment that has left millions speechless. After surviving one of the toughest battles of his life, a life-threatening cancer diagnosis, Kim Woo-bin did something for Shin that no one expected. It wasn't for the cameras. It wasn't for fame. It was pure real, and left even the toughest fans wiping away tears. What exactly did he do? And why is this one simple gesture being called one of the most emotional moments in K-celeb history? Stick with us to find out. Hit that like button, subscribe for more powerful stories like this, and don't forget to ring the notification bell, because today's story will touch your heart in ways you never imagined. Let's get into it. No one saw it coming. Not the media, not the fans, not even those closest to them. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't staged. It was raw, real, and absolutely unforgettable. In a world where celebrity romances often feel more like headlines than heartbeats, Kim Woo-bin and Shin have once again reminded us what true love looks like: quiet, unwavering, and capable of moving even the coldest hearts. For years, the story of Kim Woo-bin's battle with nasopharyngeal cancer gripped South Korea. A beloved actor at the peak of his career, his sudden diagnosis in 2017 sent shockwaves through the industry. At the time, everything halted. His filming, his endorsements, his appearances. But while the world paused, one person stood steadfast beside him: Shin. She didn't post dramatic tributes. She didn't attend press conferences crying. Instead, she did something rarer. She stayed. Shin canceled projects, rearranged schedules, and stayed by Kim Woo-bin's side through the darkest chapter of his life. She quietly accompanied him to hospital visits, shielded him from media chaos, and comforted him when cameras weren't watching. Their love wasn't paraded around. It was preserved. For over 2 years, Kim Woo-bin disappeared from the public eye. And for 2 years, Shin didn't waver. In the background of his silence, she was his voice, his calm, and his anchor. So when he finally recovered and made his triumphant return to acting, fans cheered. When he smiled again on red carpets, the applause was louder than ever. But no one expected what came next. Not even his most loyal supporters. It was during a private event, a low-key celebration with close friends and staff to mark the anniversary of his recovery, when Kim Woo-bin took the mic. Those in attendance assumed he would thank his medical team, his agency, maybe his fans. And he did. But then his tone shifted. With tears in his eyes and a trembling voice, he looked directly at Shin seated near the back, trying to stay unnoticed. And then he said the words that broke the room. "When I thought I had nothing left to give, she gave me everything. And now I want to spend the rest of my life giving it back to her." Silence. Then tears. The room, filled with industry professionals who had seen it all, fell apart. What followed was even more unexpected. Kim Woo-bin walked over to her, pulled a small box from his jacket, and opened it. Not a flashy ring, not a diamond soaked in headlines, but a simple pendant, engraved with 3 words: "You stayed. Always." It was the same pendant he had worn under his hospital gown throughout his treatment, a symbol of hope, of strength, and of the only constant he had during that time, her. Shin was seen covering her mouth, visibly shaking. She didn't say a word. She didn't need to. The look in her eyes said everything. The moment wasn't filmed. It wasn't live-streamed. It was later shared by a stylist who had quietly taken a blurry photo from her phone and uploaded it with the caption: "Real love doesn't scream. It whispers." And tonight, it whispered the loudest. Since then, fans have been flooding the internet with tributes, hashtags, and emotional messages. The phrase #YouStayed always became a trending topic not just in Korea, but globally. It wasn't just about the gesture. It was about the journey, the pain, the healing, and the quiet loyalty that bloomed into something eternal. Fans who had followed the couple since their relationship was first revealed in 2015 couldn't stop crying. Not because it was romantic in the traditional sense, but because it was deeply human, real, undeniably moving. "He didn't thank her with a diamond," one fan tweeted. "He thanked her with his entire heart." Industry insiders now whisper that Kim Woo-bin is working on a short film, one he's writing and co-directing, inspired by their story. Not a biopic, not a publicity piece, just a love letter to the woman who walked beside him when the rest of the world looked away. And Shin Min-ah? She's reportedly said very little about the night. She doesn't need to. She's back to filming, smiling a little softer, glowing in a way that says more than words ever could. Sources say she keeps the pendant close, not because it's valuable, but because it holds a history no one else will ever fully understand. This moment, this gesture isn't just a romantic high point. It's a reminder that real love often shows itself not in fireworks, but in the quiet decision to stay. Kim Woo-bin's action wasn't just a thank you. It was a vow to never forget who held him when he couldn't stand. A vow to return every ounce of love she gave. A vow to never let the noise of fame drown out the truth of what they built. In the days that followed Kim Woo-bin's emotional gesture, the public couldn't stop talking about it. Even the most private fans, those who rarely commented or engaged in online chatter, found themselves swept up in the raw sincerity of what had happened. This wasn't just a celebrity moment. It was a life moment. A moment that reminded people, even those far removed from the world of K-dramas, that love isn't about grand announcements or performative perfection. It's about presence. About being there when it's hard, when it's ugly, when it seems like there's nothing left to fight for. And Shin Min-ah? She never once asked to be seen as the perfect girlfriend or devoted angel. That wasn't her intention. But by simply staying by Kim Woo-bin's side, when he had lost his hair, his energy, his voice, his confidence, she became a symbol of something stronger than beauty or talent. She became a symbol of unwavering grace, of love that doesn't flinch when tested, of devotion that doesn't waver when no one is watching. Industry veterans who have worked with both stars say they've changed, not in ways that make headlines, but in the most meaningful ways. Kim Woo-bin, once seen as aloof and fiercely private, now smiles more openly. He talks about gratitude, about healing, about seeing life differently. You can see it in his eyes. A former director commented, "He's not just acting anymore. He's living his roles, because he's lived through something most actors only pretend to." And Shin Min-ah? Those close to her say that her strength has always been quiet, but now it glows. She walks into sets calmer, more grounded. There's no need to prove anything. She's loved by someone who has seen her at her rawest. And that kind of love doesn't just support you, it transforms you. For fans, their story has sparked a new kind of hope. In fan cafes, community boards, and live stream chats, people aren't just sharing videos or edits, they're sharing their own experiences. Stories of partners who stayed through hospital beds, of family members who never gave up, of people who, like Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah, chose each other when life got unbearably hard. One comment that went viral reads, "I watched my mom care for my dad through cancer, and I thought love like that only existed in old marriages. But seeing Shin Min-ah do the same, I realized love like that is still real. It's still possible." And isn't that what makes this story so powerful? Not the celebrity names, not the glitz, but the simplicity, the depth, the fact that two people adored by millions, surrounded by cameras and chaos, still chose each other the way we all hope someone might choose us. There's now a growing movement of fans requesting that if Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min-ah ever marry, they be allowed to do it their way, quietly, peacefully, surrounded only by the people they love. Let it be theirs, one fan page posted. After everything they've survived, they don't owe us a fairy tale. They've already lived one. Even luxury brands that the couple represent have caught on to the emotional resonance of their story. One campaign quietly featured a tagline that fans instantly recognized, "Stay, always." Without any explanation, fans knew what it meant, and it broke them all over again. And maybe that's the beauty of it all, that this moment, this unexpected, heart-wrenching, soul-touching gesture, will be remembered not for the cameras that weren't there, but for the emotion that reached everyone anyway. Kim Woo-bin didn't need to rent a rooftop or hide a diamond in a dessert. He didn't have to hire photographers or post a viral video. He just had to look the woman who saved his life in the eyes and say, "You stayed. And now I'll never stop thanking you for that." And with those words, He didn't just honor her. He honored every person who's ever stayed.